Welcome to Trinity University ODL lessons. My name is Mukuka Brian and I'll be taking you in biology. The name of the course is Applied Biology and Chemistry. The course code is PHT 111. I'll be taking you in the biology component. And what are we basically looking at? What are we going to handle under biology? The first topic that we shall do is cell biology. So we shall handle cell biology. Under cell biology, we shall even cover biomolecules. After we do that, we shall go to human anatomy, where we shall look at the different systems of the human body. What are the different parts, tissues and organs responsible for each system? Because we are public health students, we need to also understand what diseases are caused in each of the systems. What diseases can humans have from each of the systems, due maybe to other causes from the environment. After we do that, we shall go to energy transduction system. And under energy transduction, we shall look at photosynthesis. From there, we shall go to microorganisms. Under microorganisms, we shall try to discuss different kinds of microbes. What are they beneficial? How are they beneficial to humans? And we shall also look at pathogenic microorganisms. What diseases do they cause to humans? Then after that, we shall handle ecosystems and biodiversity. Basically, this is what we shall cover under PHT 111. So it is very important before understanding the other topics to cover cell biology, because it is the basis of biology. So in this lecture, I'm going to give you an introduction to biology, explain to you the importance of learning biology in public health. Thereafter, I'll go to biomolecules, introduce biomolecules, and talk about carbohydrates. Under carbohydrates, the main topic for today is monosaccharides. So we shall learn about monosaccharides thereafter. So the first question that we shall answer is biology itself. What is biology? If we divide the word biology into two, we are going to have bio and the word logy. Bio simply means life. Logy means study. So biology is the study of life. Now, if you go back from the science that we've learned even in secondary school and so on, we were taught that a cell is the basic unit of a living organism. So since we are looking at life, it's important for us to understand that in biology, we try by all means to learn about a cell, which is a building block for organisms. So, what do we learn about? We know that a cell, a group of cells, comes together to make up a tissue, and tissues come together to make an organ, and then the organs make systems functional. And then this system makes the entire organism operate the way it's supposed to operate. So this is what we know, this is what we follow, starting from the cell, which is the basic building block of organisms. Now, cell, tissue, organ system is what we have known some time back. But today, I want you to appreciate the fact that there is something we can learn about the cell and before the cell. We try to go back a little bit, and then we shall realize that this cell that we are talking about contains organelles inside, plus other parts. Then in biology, we shall appreciate the fact that organelles and other parts makes the cell function. How is it function? It conducts processes that are responsible for life. Metabolism. What is this metabolism? We are trying to understand as humans, we consume nutrients, which could be in form of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, even nucleic acids and vitamins. But the question we should ask ourselves as students is, what happens when you consume those nutrients? We should remember that the cell is the functional unity of living organisms. So whenever we consume those nutrients, they enter the cell so that they can be broken down in order to produce energy. So nutrients enter the cell so that they can be broken down to produce energy. So if we try to go back a little bit from organelle, from cell to organelle, we shall go to what is called biomolecules. What are these biomolecules? Biomolecules, these are, as the name suggests, biological molecules. These are chemical compounds or groups that are responsible for ensuring that they provide energy to the human body through the cell, which is the functional unity. As I mentioned previously, biomolecules include carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. So these biomolecules, we need to learn about this, and I told you in the introduction, today our major concern is biomolecules, and under biomolecules, we have different kinds of biomolecules. We have carbohydrates, we have proteins, we have lipids, we have nucleic acids, we even have vitamins. In this lecture, we shall focus on carbohydrates. So what are carbohydrates? If you look at this word, carbohydrate, just the word itself explains something. If we cut the word into two, carbo, that name suggests that this biomolecule contains carbon. Hydrates, meaning there is carbon that dissolves in water. So when you dissolve carbohydrates in water, you are making a biomolecule that is containing carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. So carbohydrates are biomolecules that are made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. And when you see what is happening here, we are saying that carbon in water. So this also tries to explain a little bit on the ratios of atoms in carbohydrates. It means that they normally exist in the ratio 1 to 2 to 1. So when you come up with a carbohydrate, when you see a carbohydrate or come across a carbohydrate, you check its molecular formula, you will find that it agrees with this ratio. There is always a lot of hydrogen atoms as compared to oxygen and the carbon. That's what it means. Because of this, we give them the general formula CH2O Ne, where this Ne stands for number of carbon atoms. What does this mean? Suppose I asked a question to say, a carbohydrate had 20 carbon atoms. What is its expected molecular formula? How can you go about answering such a question? Simple. All you should do is use the formula CH2O. We are saying that a carbohydrate has 20 carbon atoms. So you put 20 where there is any, and then you multiply 20 throughout. 20 by C, C20. 20 by H2, H40. 20 by O, O20. It means you've come up with a molecular formula of carbohydrates. So remember, carbohydrates are made up of the elements carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, which are normally in the ratio 1 to 2 to 1. And they've been given the general formula CH2O, N, where N stands for the number of carbon atoms. I should mention to you that carbohydrates, they are the most abundant biomolecules on Earth. But they have other physiological functions to humans. So my next point is to look at functions. What are the functions of carbohydrates? Why do we need carbohydrates as humans? Number one, they are a primary source of energy. What does this mean? Meaning that when you consume nutrients, be it lipids, proteins, carbohydrates, or a mixture, the body resorts to using carbohydrates as a source of energy, a direct source of energy. Why is it so? Because carbohydrates are easily broken down and absorbed by the human body. So they are a direct source of energy. That's why if I was to faint right now, because I didn't take my breakfast before coming for this lecture, the doctor or a medical practitioner will not resuscitate me by feeding me with a chop of meat or lipids. They will resuscitate me using carbohydrates. Why is it so? Because they are easily broken down to give energy. The second function of carbohydrates is that in the human body, we have got molecules that are responsible for storing genetic information. And we call them nucleic acids. Nucleic acids. What are the examples? We are simply talking about DNA. This is deoxyribonucleic acid. The other example, RNA, ribonucleic acid. DNA is what stores the information that instructs how the body will operate, how the entire organism will function. Now, we shall look at nucleic acids later. But what I want you to know about nucleic acid is that, as their names suggest, deoxyribo. This deoxyribo implies that we use deoxyribose sugar to make DNA. So carbohydrates, one of the important functions is that they are used to make deoxyribonucleic acids. Ribonucleic acid, if you get this word ribo, because we use a ribose sugar to make RNA. That's why we name it ribonucleic acids. So this is the primary source of energy. They are used to make nucleic acids, DNA, and RNA. The other third important function of carbohydrates is this one. They are used in cellular communication. What is cellular communication? In the introduction, we said that a cell is a basic unit of a living organism. A cell conducts metabolic processes. A cell conducts other physiological processes that ensures that the organism is functional. Now, how does a cell respond to environment? How do cells communicate to each other? They communicate to each other because they contain receptors on the surface of the membrane. They contain what is called cell surface receptors. What is the function of the cell surface receptors? Cell surface receptors is what a cell uses to communicate to neighboring cells or to respond to the environment. Let me give an example. Let's say you are taking a meal full of carbohydrates. What will happen is that after taking that meal, there will be an increase in the concentration of glucose in your blood. So when glucose concentration in the blood increases, that is detected by the pancreas, and the pancreas secretes insulin. Then insulin goes to the blood, combines with the glucose that has increased in concentration, transport it to a cell, so that a cell can break down that glucose to release energy. Now, how can a cell receive that glucose conjugated with insulin? Through cell surface receptors. Why am I talking about cell surface receptors? These cell surface receptors, normally they get exposed to the environment that has water. Because the environment has got water, carbohydrates are used to make this surface part which interacts with water. So the take-home information about this function is that we use carbohydrates to make cell surface receptors which are used in cellular communication. In the introduction, I told you that carbohydrates is what we shall cover today. Carbohydrates are classified into 4 important groups. What are those groups? Number 1, we have a group that we call monosaccharides. Number 2, disaccharides. 3, oligosaccharides. 4, polysaccharides. Those are the 4 major groups of carbohydrates. The names of the groups suggest something. Today our emphasis is monosaccharides. But before I go into monosaccharides, I want you to understand why we give such groups the names you can see there. Mono, in biology, we use it to mean 1. Di, 2. Oligo, 3 to 10. Then more than 10 is what we call polysaccharides. So when you have a single sugar, it cannot be broken down into any simple means. It is the simplest carbohydrate. That is what we refer to as a monosaccharide. But sometimes a monosaccharide can combine with another monosaccharide, then they are 2, making one structure. Because they are 2, that's when we refer to them as disaccharides. If you have 3 to 10, we call them oligosaccharides. Then more than 10, polysaccharide. Saccharide comes from a Latin word, saccharus. This saccharus simply means sugar. So when you say monosaccharides, you are simply saying 1 sugar. Disaccharides, 2 sugars. Oligosaccharides, 3 to 10 sugars. Polysaccharides, more than 10 sugars. Today, we shall look at monosaccharides. So, what are monosaccharides? As the name suggests, they are the simplest carbohydrates. They can't be broken down into any simpler means. They can't be hydrolyzed. What are the examples of monosaccharides? We have monosaccharides with 3 carbon atoms, those with 4 carbon atoms, 5, 6, and so on. Those with 3 carbon atoms, we call them trioses. Those with 4 carbon atoms, tetroses. With 5 carbon atoms, pentoses. 6 carbon atoms, hexoses. In this course, this is what we shall focus on. So you need to understand and give examples of each of the groups of monosaccharides. Give examples of trioses, tetroses, pentoses, and hexoses. Thank you very much.